Hello, Glenn.
Hello.
Hi, thanks for calling. And
Oh, my
Verse
pleasure.
Online is excited to have you.
Oh, well, I'm excited that you're excited. That's awesome.
Wonderful. So I just want to congratulate you, first of all, on your Moment of Truth album. Truly a pleasant listen from beginning to end.
Oh, wow, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're absolutely welcome. So after releasing Don't You Forget It, nearly a
hmm
decade ago, you went on a hiatus. Why is that?
Uh, it's kind of a loaded question. It was a little bit of everything. Like I was always working on music, and I was in and out of different situations, but there was a lot of stuff that happened at Sony Records that I was signed to,
Okay,
along with stuff that was just happening in the music industry with downloading and people trying to figure that whole thing out
understandable.
and how to approach marketing music on the internet, and just it's just yeah, I in and around the time of me getting ready to drop my second album, and I had a single, Back for More, shot the video and everything in
Okay.
Toronto, Vince Carter and Mike Epps and all this other stuff. Yeah, it just it was it was mostly just, it's just been a timing thing as for as long as it's been, and I certainly didn't expect it to take as long as it did, but especially being in and out of a lot of different deals since the Sony days. But I guess yeah, I guess it's one of those scenarios of stars align, the timing is right, the situation was right, and I was blessed to be able to put that project together and get it out to existing fans, or making new ones.
Absolutely. And we are happy to have you back with us.
Yeah, it's definitely good to be back. It's absolutely good to be back.
All right. Now, what you said since you've been back now, do you think it was kind of hard transitioning back, or it was just all pretty easy for you?
Well, you know what? I think music is the sort of thing that it's the kind of thing that it almost, I don't know, it almost, the one thing that stays the same is that people, excuse me, people respond to music that they love. People respond to music that moves them. So I think starting from that point of reference, that was my main focus, was wanting to create something that would really resonate with people. And
Okay.
you know, definitely I observe a lot of the different things, trends that may emerge here and there, or changes in production style,
Mm-hmm.
and what may be what may be building popularity, or sort of like hybrids of different cultures. Like, I'll pay attention to all that stuff because it's important, but
Okay.
my primary focus was just being able to really, especially with this album, like, I just kind of was like, there were certain elements that I kind of missed from R&B, like, especially coming up, like, high school and different things like that. So I was like, you know what, I just want to make, if I only do it once, I just want to make uh you know an R&B album that's has a lot of traditional elements to it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that was really just the focus, was wanting to create something that I felt I wasn't hearing or haven't
Uh-huh.
heard in a while. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I wasn't really swayed too much by what was happening around me.
Okay. All right. So on your album, Moment of Truth, you have a song titled Ugly Face.
Yep.
Interesting title, by the way. And why don't you describe the concept behind that song?
I mean, sure. It's not. I guess at first you hear the title and you're like, what? But I mean,
Right.
there's some people, there's some people, or some of us that have overactive imaginations and creative minds, and I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure they hear ugly face and they probably put two and two together. But I mean, ugly face is really, it's just a fun joint, just talking about that moment, that intimacy, and you find yourself in, you know, between the two of you, enjoying the moment, sharing the moment, and sometimes we make little sounds and make little faces.
Right.
So that's basically really it. It's just a playful track.
Okay, definitely playful. Okay, so the collaboration process, what was it like with fellow Canadian artists Melanie, Fiona, and All My Love?
Oh well, the funny thing is, like, sometimes I'm not saying it's always the case, but sometimes people get matched up to do collaborations or whatever, and they'll say sort of like the politically correct things or whatever the case may be, or whatever. But genuinely, like Melanie, I've seen her on the come up, and prior to everything popping off and the 2 Grammys and all that other stuff, and like, I kid you not, I don't think there's a human being on this earth that hasn't met Melanie Fiona and has the exact same thing to say about it every time.
Oh, that's really nice.
No, but seriously, she's like an amazing human being. Like, forget the music thing. You drop the music thing, and just her as a human being, she's a model human being. She's awesome. So, like, just seeing her grow as a person and as an artist, and I already hail her as like one of the top 5 female vocalists in the game right now. So, it's like there's so much good that I could talk about with her. Like, that's my homie. She's amazing. Like, we had fun in the studio. The whole process was amazing. Just because we, we're good. Like, we're friends first. You know what I'm saying? So we had a lot of fun, man. And it's always jokes and cracking jokes and whatever else. And it's just good vibes, man. And I think it came out in the record too.
Okay, yeah, it did actually. You guys sounded beautiful together.
Thank you.
Could you see yourself working with her again?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, that's practically a no-brainer. All we ever needed was an excuse, really, to jump on something. So, I mean, who knows? I may show up on one of her projects, or futuristically, we may end up doing something again. But I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up working again. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, growing up listening to the likes of Sam Cooke, the Beatles, and Joni Mitchell, would you say this new album mirrors some of their sounds?
Oh, nah. Like, I'm influenced by a lot of music, but this album I was really reaching for, the things that I liked about the Philly International sound and that movement, and the things of, certain things about the 90s R&B movement, and, and certain things even currently about R&B, and certain things about, a lot of soul classics. So just combining all those things, all those elements of R&B, I just thought it would make for a really good, sort of kind of like a nostalgic record, just like, a record that people could refer to and be like, oh man, this reminds me of, like, all the R&B that I like, R&B albums that I go back to and stuff, like, whatever it is, Jodeci, Boyz II Men, Intro, just whatever great R&B records that people loved and would appreciate. I would have to say that those are probably albums that definitely inspired me, and I guess they were inspiration, directly or indirectly for this.
Okay. Now, you've been told, well, so I've heard, and I could clearly see, your voice somewhat sounds like Stevie Wonder, and that is one of the many influences that you also grew up on. Could you see yourself working with Stevie in the future? Would you love to work with Stevie?
Yeah, if his schedule would permit, or the opportunity presents itself, oh man, definitely. It's like, up until this point, the only collaborative effort I've had the chance to have with him, which is saying enough as it is, just having the opportunity to even be able to vibe with him or to share the same space, was at the Air Canada Center in Toronto, where he was up here in concert I think it was around 2008, and you know, in front of the whole audience, you know, he brought me up, and I thought that was a really amazing gesture, and I had fun. It was cool. It was a little, you know, it was still heavily intimidating, even though I've met him before, but it was still, you know, still crazy overwhelming. But you know, it was, you know, obviously, needless to say, amazing nonetheless. So if the opportunity ever presented itself, yeah, definitely, I definitely love to work with one of my biggest mentors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which artist would you want to tour with right now, if you could have the opportunity to do so?
I think Robin Thicke and myself would be like a cool package.
Wonderful.
Like, you know, I think to have the opportunity to open up for him, I think that'd be dope. I think let me see, is anybody else? I mean, really only I can only see, like, Robin to me makes sense just because.
Really, just Robin? That's it?
Yeah, just because from a package perspective, just style, like, I would say that, you know, even though he's gone with certain influences, and you know, you just sonically, the sound of his new album, you know, it's just, you know, it's different, but it's in the same vein. It's still R&B. So, you know, I think that would be pretty cool. If I had an opportunity to go out with you know, Frank Ocean or somebody like that, that'd probably be cool too.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Great choice. All right. So, Glenn, you're an attractive man. What is your status? Are you single, married, children? What's going on?
I am currently single. I just, you know, I don't know. I guess just for whatever reason, I've met a lot of amazing women, and I've had the pleasure of spending time with a lot of amazing people, and I guess it's just an interesting time in all our lives. I guess it's just one of those things where, like, we have great relationship, great friendship, and oftentimes, like, the real ones, it always blossoms from a friendship. So, I mean, you know, there's always a possibility, but like right now, I don't know. I'm just kind of chilling and just enjoying life.
So you're open then?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. So you're open. And you don't think your music or anything would hinder any type of relationship that could come your way, any amazing more people that you could ever meet?
No, definitely. I mean, you know, you hear like a lot of different things, right, in your lifetime. Like I've heard some people say, you know, after you pass, like, say, you know, after you pass 30, chances are you probably met her already or whatever. You know, and you know, and then there's always the possibility of just, you know, out of nowhere you meet somebody and it just clicks. So you know, I guess it's one of those things that I don't know. I don't really force that type of stuff. I learned a long time ago you can't force that stuff. You just got to let it happen on its own. Okay.
All right. So Can't Say Love is quite a relatable track, one of my favorites, I shall say. Are you singing from experience?
I'm sorry. The question part. Missed the question part.
Are you singing from experience?
Am I what?
Are you singing from experience?
Oh, am I singing from experience on Can't Say Love? Got you.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not something that's currently going on in my life, but I have been at a place where, you know, there's that certain somebody that they just have your heart, and no matter what's going on, no matter what caused maybe, you know, whatever separation or just caused the two of you to drift, like, I'm pretty sure there's people that could relate to relationships that don't necessarily, most relationships end badly, but for the ones that don't, you know, that person is kind of like always on your heart. You still care about them, and they and you know, in different ways they show that they still care about you, but you kind of, you know, you in and out, and you know, it's whatever, and they see somebody, and then you get, you know, you might not crazy jealous, but you know, you feel a little bit, you're like, oh, okay, you know, like, yeah, you know, it's like, okay, you happy? Yeah, you liking it? Everything good? Kind of thing. And you guys play that little game with each other because you know each other like that, like you're friends. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes you can find yourself in situations where it's like you move on to different things and you kind of just realize, where you're just like, man, nothing's really better than nothing's been better since what I had with so-and-so.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that kind of thing where you can really care about somebody, be into somebody, like somebody, but like love is just something that you just can't really go near because every time you think about it, that really you're sort of focused on, that unfinished business. So yeah, I mean, I think that's something that I definitely have experienced, relate to, and it was a big part of the reason why I thought it was something that I could sort of share. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's the whole point of Moment of Truth. Moment of Truth, like the title and the album and even what went into just the intent behind the body of work was just to create something that was like conversation pieces, like conversations you'll have, like like say if you got, like, say for yourself, if you got like a dude where you have like real genuine talk, maybe your brother or maybe a dude that's a friend, where it's like, okay, tell me the truth, like when guys blah 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 blah, what's up with blah blah blah, you know what I mean, or or that type, or even like me having a conversation with one of my friends or something, you know what I mean? That was sort of like the approach I wanted to take on the album, like as far as the the topics and the concepts and stuff like that, and yeah, so that's basically the intent that was behind I Can't Say Love. It is experience. I'm sorry, don't mind me chomping.
That's perfectly fine.
Okay. It is experience, but it's also, something that I thought would be a good conversation.
Okay. That it was. So could you say that there is a particular young lady out there, if she heard this, she would know? You're talking about her maybe, if you are?
I think, yeah. I think maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. So searching for that one, another one of my favorites. So have you really met 3 Kims though?
Say one more time. Is there a chance for it to rekindle?
I said for one of my favorite tracks on the album, Searching for That One. You speak of meeting several women in your lifetime, in a sense. So have you really met 3 Kims?
Yeah, probably. Maybe more than that. But yeah, I mean, it's just it's actually just sort of a playful way of getting at, meeting, you meet a lot of different people, and you can still find yourself in that place where there's this person that you just know will be right for you. Like, for whatever reason, there's, you'll meet amazing people in your life, and maybe it's just, sometimes it might be a timing thing why y'all don't get together, whether it's, or you enjoy what time you do have with each other, you know what I'm saying? But until then, you're still open to the possibilities of this person that you think would be ideal. I mean, still being open to the fact that they may not be everything that you have in your head, and chances are they won't be.
Right.
But, like, everyone has that ideal person.
Yes.
But I really, I really wanted to also put emphasis in the song of, like, the most important thing is actually preparing yourself to be able to be ready for something like that. Because oftentimes people will say they want somebody in their life, and
they're not prepared. And
they're not really ready for it. They like the notion of it. They like the idea.
Yes.
But they themselves, they might still need to grow up a little bit.
Okay. That is the truth. So what is next for Glenn Lewis? Any new projects in the near future? What can fans expect?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've all this time, while getting ready for this album to come out, and even while the new album is out, I've been writing and recording. So I'm just working towards the next thing, and just wanting to, or just continuing to pursue, wanting to create something bigger than myself.
Uh-huh.
Hey, what's good, everybody? This is Glenn Lewis, and you are locked into VERSED Magazine.
Well,